The Atlanta Hawks went into the 2020 NBA offseason with a lot of pressure. They have been strangers to success for far too long, having just 2 players who have made 1 playoff appearance in their whole careers. They find themselves in the middle of a lengthy rebuild, which started in 2018 when they traded away Luka Doncic in return for a pick that would later become Trae Young and a future first rounder. This trade would tie the 2 organizations and the 2 individual players together probably forever. And with Luka's recent ascent to stardom, transforming the Dallas Mavericks and help carrying them to the playoffs in the stacked Western Conference, it left the Hawks and Trae Young looking silly. The Hawks were in the position where they needed to add dynamic talent to their roster fast. And with the 6th pick in the 2020 NBA draft and up to $50 million in free cap space, this was the offseason to do it. In this video, we will examine the Hawks offseason additions and see how they put themselves in prime playoff position. At 6, they drafted Onyeka Okongwu, a man who's best characterized as a Swiss Army knife of a defender. He was widely considered the best big man in the draft besides James Wiseman. The 6'9", 245-pound Okongwu is a versatile defender who can step out onto the perimeter and is also an elite rim protector, despite being undersized for the center position. He shows clear shades of Bam Adebayo, the centerpiece of Miami's finals run. He will step into the NBA as a competent rim protector and shows flashes of becoming an elite one. He ranked 17th in the nation last season with 76 total blocks. And for a Hawks team that consistently allows the most points in the paint on a nightly basis, the Hawks could surely use Okongwu's presence alongside Capella in the paint. And while defense dominates the combo with Onyeka, he's not a bum on offense, and he shows signs of premium upside. He's been shown to take defenders off the dribble, as nimble as a wing player, and possesses a very quick first step. He also does a good job of sealing off defenders on the block and has a soft touch around the rim. By selecting Okongwu with the 6th overall pick, they got one of the best players available to fill the need and instantly improve their defense. And with Capella on the roster, he will have time to ease into the league. The Hawks also grabbed Skylar Mays at 50. The 6'4" combo guard is a proficient scorer and a tenacious defender, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals per game last season. Mays will likely spend a large chunk of his rookie season in the G League after signing a 2-way contract with the Hawks. A lot of the Hawks' prime additions came via free agency, as they went in there with a blank checkbook. To start things off, they grabbed Rondo to a 2-year, $15 million deal. Now, I'm not completely sold on this specific addition. Rondo was indeed coming off an impressive postseason run, where he essentially cemented the legacy, the legend of playoff Rondo. In the postseason, he added a second gear to the Lakers' offense, keeping the pace and allowing King James to rest. His sudden discovery of a 3-point stroke kept the Lakers' offense flowing without a hitch, and his playmaking ability gives the Hawks a solid backup point guard to Trae Young, something they sorely needed to decrease the load and attention on Young offensively. Though Rondo isn't what he used to be offensively, and has sometimes shown to be a liability on that end, especially in the regular season, and one can make a serious argument that the Hawks overpaid on this decision. But it seems that the Hawks were willing to pay more for the championship experience and playoff transformation. The Atlanta Hawks acquired one of the most sought-after free agents in Gallinari in a sign-and trade with the OKC Thunder in exchange for a future 2nd-round pick. Gallinari has proven to be a prolific scorer and shot creator over his 12-year career. The 6'10" do-it-all hybrid forward possesses one of the most lethal shots in the entire league. He ranked in the 93rd percentile in points per possession last season, averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists per game on eye-popping shooting splits. And as a career 38% 3-point shooter, the addition of Gallinari is a huge boost for the Hawks offense that ranked dead last in 3-point percentage last year. Though this addition has brought questions about the future of John Collins. With DeAndre Hunter already looking very promising, there may not be a role for him going forward as his contract winds down. They could technically play together in some big lineups, but a lineup with Collins, Danilo, and Trae would be atrocious defensively. and paying your $20 million marquee signing to ride the bench would be interesting to say the least. There have been mounting rumors about a possible Collins trade, and with this latest move, it changes the question of if to when. This was a great signing as Gallinari adds versatility, efficiency on offense, and depth to a once razor-thin roster. Bogdan Bogdanovic's name dominated the headlines as free agency approached. For a long while, he seemed to be packing his bags and heading to Milwaukee. A bench player for most of his young career, he was promoted to a full-time starter role for the Kings midway through last season. And once he received a more prominent, defined role in the rotation, we saw an uptick in his production and efficiency. With the added responsibility, Bogdan flashed the league with his ability to be a secondary facilitator, with 4.5 assists per 36, and a deadly off-ball sniper shooting 40% on catch and shoot threes. He's a guy who will complement Trae incredibly well, as he can get his own shot and create for others, while not having to be the focal point of the offense. And if all the Hawks are getting from him on the offense, they will get similar return defensively, as he's a very capable wing defender. At 26 years old, Bogdanovic is still relatively young and just now entering his physical prime, giving the Hawks a core piece for years to come. This may very well prove to be the Hawks' best move of the entire offseason. Bogdanovic's presence should make the defense more palatable and the team more offensively flexible. The Hawks also added Chris Dunn, who once upon a time was a marquee blue chip prospect. He's not a great playmaker, far from a scoring threat, especially on the perimeter, but he can end up being a very serviceable player for them, especially if they make the playoffs. He'll be able to give them crucial minutes guarding opposing teams' best point guard. And if it doesn't work out for them, the Hawks can part ways in just 2 years. And just like that, the Hawks are an incredibly deep team with a great, near-perfect mixture of young talent and veteran experience. Their starting five of Trae, Bogdan, Gallo, Capella, maybe Reddish, is pretty tight, and they will have Rondo, Herter, Collins, Onyeka, and Hunter coming off the bench. For a long time, Young has had plausible deniability to his lack of success, having bare-bone pieces around him. But with these latest moves, they injected quality talent around him, and Trae Young will be able to go out into this season and shed the label of an empty scorer. Anyways, that is all I have for y'all today. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you want to join the journey to 1K. One thing that is not negotiable though is comment down your thoughts below. Comment down video ideas, thoughts on the video, anything really. Helps the algorithm, and I really like to chop it up. We'll be responding to every single one of your comments. So until next time, stay safe.